Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good day. It's Gord, your hurtin' hippie. And here we are on what will likely be my last update on CBD for now, unless some of you have some things about CBD you wish discussed. Mention them below. If I haven't hit on it yet, I'll do it again. But first, we need to talk about Calgary weather and why your hippie is here with these glasses on. The weather has changed yet again. Calgary has such up and down weather. First, we're going to throw it over to Gord to explain the weather from yesterday. Sometimes Gordy likes to send me out and say, hey, do a little weather update for the folks. Because it's for you, not because of him. I'll do it. We'll throw it up right here, and you'll see it's -3 with wind chill -11, and it just stopped snowing, but it's going to snow again within the next hour, and probably on and off all day. By tomorrow, -14 before the wind chill. And who knows about the wind chill till we get there. Yeah, Calgary, welcome to Calgary, where the weather changes more than my underwear. And I promise I change them often. Friends, it's cold out. My hand is freezing just talking to you. This wind chill, the -11 part of it, it is cold. But it's a good day. Dave is nowhere around, and I'm off to say hi to my son at school, and then go home and have a little rest. Friends, back to Gord in the morning. Not sure what he's talking about today. I bet you it has something to do with CBD. Peace and cheers. Love and harmony. As you see, it was getting cold. It was starting to get cold. But let's throw up. Let's throw the temperature up as it sits this morning. Brrr. Yeah, that's cold. That's cold. -22 or -23. It keeps fluctuating with wind chill. And the wind is blowing quite strong. There's quite a bit of snow. And tomorrow, +5 or more. Yes, a Chinook coming tomorrow, and my friends, therein lays the rub. That's why the glasses. I had a horrible migraine all night long. It's still there. I've taken my CBD. Yes, we're going to talk about that. And so far, it's still there. It's a bad one, friends. But I'm still here doing what I do. Now, about cannabidiol. Cannabidiol, CBD, one of my favorite things. We have talked about it from brief discussions all the way to very, very intricate stuff in the comment field. So I've really enjoyed bringing you this series. One thing it certainly has shown me is we don't know enough yet, and we as people, all of us, need to be very careful what we buy. While I was looking this up, there was a person, I'm not going to share it because I don't like putting companies and people down unless I really, really dig in, who said in her area a store opened that was CBD specific. It had CBD water, it had CBD cleaning equipment, CBD in everything. It was just CBD center, and none of its benefits in other areas like in air purifiers. Angie, you mentioned that. CBD in an air purifier, squirting out little nanograms of CBD into the air that may or may not get into your lungs. You would have to sit beside it and breathe it for hours and hours and hours to get a minuscule of benefit. Just having CBD around doesn't make it work. So, what are we talking about today? Today we're talking about CBD edibles and what they do and don't do as best as we know it now. I myself take edibles in two different ways. I take 2 pills a day just to keep the amount of CBD in my body up, and I take them sublingually with gummies. So, before we get on to that, I'm going to come back to that. First, there are 2 links below, one from Harvard Health and one, I'm not sure, CBD edibles versus THC edibles. Hard to say what it's going to look like when it's linked below, but first, the Harvard Health Publishing. We're going to talk about it. And, glasses have to come off. So this is going to hurt a little bit. CBD has been recently covered in the media, and you have seen it as an add-in booster to your post-workout smoothie or morning coffee. What is it? Why is it suddenly so popular? It talks about why it's different from marijuana. CBD stands for cannabidiol. It's the second most prevalent of the active ingredients of the cannabis plant. While CBD is an essential component of medical marijuana, it's derived directly from the hemp plant, which is a cousin of the marijuana plant. While CBD is a component of marijuana, one of hundreds, by itself it does not cause a high. According to a report from WHO in humans, CBD exhibits no effects indicative of any abuse or dependence potential. That's important. To date, there is no evidence of public health related problems associated with the use of pure CBD. Is cannabidiol legal? There is the crux of the situation for most of us, my friends. And the answer is not that easy. In Canada, CBD is legal, but is monitored and controlled. It's a controlled substance. And if you're seeing it at a local gas station, that's gray market. That's gray market, my friends. CBD is readily obtainable in most parts of the United States, though its exact legal status is in flux. All 50 states have laws legalizing CBD in varying degrees of restriction, and while the federal government still sees it in the same class as marijuana, it doesn't enforce against CBD. The federal government doesn't enforce against CBD, but your local state government might. Be careful. In December 2015, the FDA eased the regulatory requirements to allow researchers to conduct CBD trials. Currently, many people obtain CBD online without medical license. The government's position on CBD is confusing and depends in part on whether the CBD comes from hemp or marijuana. The legality of CBD is expected to change, as there is currently bipartisan consensus in Congress to make the hemp crop legal, which would, for all intent and purpose, make CBD difficult to prohibit. And I believe maybe this is fairly new. I thought hemp had been legalized in all states. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me below. And this is mostly, I'll let you read the rest of this. This is mostly an introduction, but we're talking about today the edibles. And what are CBD edibles? So now we're on to the next one. CBD edibles come in different forms from chocolate to honey. The most popular edibles are CBD gummy bears. Gummy bears are tasty, discreet, and effective. Perfect. It says, for the whole family, and I would disagree with that. I would not be giving my kids CBD unless a doctor suggested that. Excuse me. CBD edibles are delicious treats that are made with CBD oil. A CBD gummy may look and taste like the ones you enjoyed as a kid, but with the added therapeutics of CBD. Edibles are either made with CBD that's extracted from hemp or marijuana. This goes on to talk too much about some silly stuff. CBD edibles made with CBD extracted from hemp may also contain less than 0.3% THC and will not produce psychoactive effects. You know what? I'll let you read the rest of this. It's got some good information. Difference between CBD edibles and THC edibles and hemp edibles, which I wouldn't be looking into. And it talks about no severe side effects to CBD. It's a good backup for what I'm going to tell you. If you take a CBD pill, like anything, it's got to go through your system. Unlike THC, THC goes into your stomach, takes an hour and a half to 2 hours, because after it's digested, it's processed by the liver and changed to THC 11-hydroxy tetrahydrocannabinol. That is what gets you really, really high. Totally different than smoking THC. CBD, however, still takes 30 to 60 minutes to get through your system and through your stomach and into your digestive system and thus into your system. And CBD affects the CB1 receptors mostly, sometimes touching on CB2. CB1 is the brain and the gut. So that is kind of how it works, but an edible, you have to be careful, especially a CBD edible, because if you're taking it into your stomach, CBD is hard to tell if it has... Its efficacy is difficult to feel because there is no intoxicating high. There is a change in the brain, and it is so minuscule, but it helps you in so many ways that it's sometimes hard to tell if your edible is working. I found I was up to 3 of these CBD pills a day, and I'm down to 2. CBD builds up in the system. You need less as you go along. Unlike THC, CBD works better as you have more in your system, where THC, the high goes down as you use it more. CBD becomes more effective as you use it more. But there is where CBD, if you really, really need it for quick anxiety relief, for quick inflammation relief, a pill may not be, or an edible may not be your best bet, because you're going to get very little of it right away. You're going to have to wait. Like when I took my CBD pill when I woke up this morning, it did not affect my headache for about 45 minutes and slowly started bringing the effects down. Why? Because I had terrible, terrible arthritic inflammation in my shoulder and neck all through the night, and that is starting to release, and therefore the blood's flowing a little better, and my migraine is a little less. But this migraine is also caused by the weather change, and CBD can't do much with that. But what do I do for immediate relief? I take a CBD gummy. Yes, I'm going to shout out Canada's Finest again, because I take their CBD gummies, full spectrum gummies, and very good pricing. I won't discuss the pricing because I'm not selling on behalf of them. I'm just saying that's what I found, and it works for me. And the reason a gummy works immediately is the sublingual effect. You don't just swallow a gummy and wait for the CBD to go through your body. You actually chew on it. And I would suggest, if you have CBD or THC gummies, you chew on it and you keep it in your mouth for a long time. The more it will enter your body through sublingual methods, under the tongue, all that is direct into the body, and you will feel it within 30 to 60 seconds. Same as I use CBD tincture from Pura Vida Vape. absolutely amazing for quick, responsive needs. So, edibles, I would say if I'm to take an edible, to me that's a THC edible. I have CBD oils and I don't put it in my drink. I don't put it in anything because I want CBD effect immediately when I need CBD. So I put the oil under my tongue, or I take a CBD gummy and keep it under my tongue for the longest time. And it works. I think we have said enough. I hope I have said enough. And now for little known facts. I enjoy that beginning because it's just so small and innocuous, if that's a good word. Now, what is next? In 1325, 2 Italian city-states fought over a bucket, which resulted in 2,000 deaths. It started when 2 soldiers stole a bucket from a well from the city center. Weird. Standing around burns calories. On average, a 150-pound person burns 114 calories per hour while standing and doing nothing. Hey, I'm good at that. And although GPS is free for the world to use, it costs $2 million a day to operate. The money comes from American tax revenue. Well, thanks, all of you down south, for paying for my GPS. Anyways, I hope you have enjoyed this. I'm going to get back to hiding in the dark and hoping this headache goes away. Tomorrow, +5. Peace and cheers, friends. Love and harmony. Half the week is over now. Peace.